Hi, I hope you are okay and feeling really good to live this moment, right? So, today I like to talk about when you feel some pain, when you feel so uncomfortable in some situations, or discomfort for what are you living, or the situation that is arriving in your reality now. And what is behind that information, what is the treasure behind that, and how we can bring to the consciences and take conscience of what are the tools that they are bringing us, and also get all the benefits for that growing in our path, for our um, next step in our um, development around us, right? So, for example, there is sometimes that we need to go through some pain in order to grow. And physically, when we are child, our bones start to growing. Maybe we feel some pain for that, and maybe we feel some discomfort on how our body is reaction of this, and but that it is a signal that we are growing in our physical, in our height, in our dimensions, right? So maybe when we are a child we are not really conscious of that, but when we move on from childhood to teenagers, it is when we can see it as biggest, because we start to feel more pain for that growing. Maybe we look with long hands and short body, or big feet and small legs, right? But it is the time that our body is adjustment to the new new height that we are going to have, right? So as we pass for that pain in order to develop our soul or develop ourself, it is the same form as we grow in our conscience, as we grow as human beings, and we have more in contact with our inner side, and we can understand why is this happen, right? Maybe that uncomfortable is because we are moving our comfort zone. Maybe the challenge it is really hard for us since this new view, but at the time that we live it and we start to go for that experience, we can realize that was not really stressed or really stronger as we think could be. And maybe we can realize that that big hole that we think that we need to jump through it, it was a small one, and it was more easy to jump it than we think before. Then maybe we overshowing our uh, our beliefs, our think, and maybe just we need to take action to do it, right? When we start to feeling that bad, that uncomfortable process, that pain, it is a signal for us. It is a light in the ocean. It is a flag to see that something is happening here. And if we realize that we need to look more, maybe we can choose to use a zoom in that process and see what is happening. Who is there? Who is more in the environment? In what environment is happening this? And also, what could be the the reason that I need to leave this, or for what I need to pass this process and what I can get for it. Maybe I get a new tools for my own growth, for my self growing, or maybe I need to bring back tools that I have in the past that now I can use it, but maybe sometimes I forgot about that. Sometimes we think that when something is really hard, really challenges for us to pass, maybe we think that we need to forget all the past, all the concepts, all that we are before, and we need to reconstruct that information or review it and start to growing since zero instead to take back all that information. So here is the clue. When you feel that you need to do a big change or reinvent your concepts, before to do that, look back and see what tools you already have and what you can bring to the now, from the past to the now, and start to use it and adapt to the new situation so that you have that benchmark that you have been trying to do instead to make a new concept of you from zero, right? Because it is not really necessary. You can take parts of you that functionally works in the past and add new tools and continue functioning in the future. You don't need to erase all your history, all your background, or all the effort that you put to be in this moment. Because if you don't pass for that situations, you are not be here. You cannot be in this moment at this time with this conscience that say I need to do a change. I must to change something in my life, right? You don't have that clarity if you don't pass for that experience, that histories in the past, right? So it is important that we are not forget that we are a construction, a building from all our experience that we live in this time, that at the age that you have, that maybe there was some ones that were really too hard that we put in in a box and we threw that box in the more inside of us and we don't want to see it anymore because that was really hard to pass through, that was too challenge for me and move on all my reality from before to the now, and I don't close that that cycle yet, right? So it is still hurt in my heart, in my mind, to remember that situation. But maybe it is time to close that cycles and bring those tools that you get from that process. Because from the beginning, the strongest to pass a new step, the intelligence to adapt to a new situation, the curiosity of how to move and next step and be auto reference to you and what is the next step instead to listen the environment, right? So you can use it as you can use it then for continue, so that will be no strain that you return back to that pain, to that memory that was hard, to that uncomfortable process to move on, to that discomfort to continue in that situation. And maybe you start looking as a clue for the next step, as a clue for the next step, as new road that you can take, new experience to live that you can learn from them, or new form that you can teach others. for something that you already passed, but maybe it was a small portion of that to close it. That's why I remember that it is important to close those cycles. And when we close those cycles in the past that still hurt, that are really connected with our childhood, with our selves, that we believe that there is impossible that we in pace for that, it is time to start to do it. It is time because you are really strong for do it. The lesson is no longer there. It's no longer there available. That's why they are bringing coming to you to say, hello, you have a tool, a treasure here that you are not using. That you need to take that conscious to start to using. So forget about to feel fear or what is coming or how it will look the future. Work in the present, work in the now. Live that experience today. That's why it is important to see that discomfort, that pain, and it could not be as a part process that we have some songs about how powerful could be the pain, how treasure could be used as, for example, the song Believer from Imagine Dragons. It is about the pain. It is how to learn to pain and move on. It is a big message there. And also we can find some lectures, some books about how to use the pain and overcome it and accept it and integrate to us to move on to the next step. So how important is the pain? How important is to see it as a light in the ocean, showing us the next road, showing us the path that we need to move on. As a flag to say, hello, there is something that you need to look back here. That's an alert, right? Look me, you forget to close this, you forget to close this, right? So look back on your reality and see what are those flags, those alerts that I start bringing back some pain, some situation that maybe it is not really close, that maybe that you do not realize all the treasure that you get from them, all the tools that you get from them to be who you are now. It is important that connection because that will give us the next steps to move on. So if we have this conscience now that when we feel uncomfortable, we feel pain, it is a signal of next growing. It is a signal of next step. It is a signal that we do not see horror or error or fear for that situation. Just live the experience. Remember the things that you pass and you pass it as good with that feeling that was no challenge there. Okay, you have already the tools and apply it. But those ones that were more hard, that you need to develop some tools, that you need to do a step back and learn something before to achieve the next challenge. And the fears, it looks like really hard, that it was so big to overcome, that was really pain. Say thank you. Say thank you because you get some benefits from past it. Some benefits to get the conscious that you need to do something different for do it now. That you get that message that you need to focus in the situation, work hard in that, and move on to the next step. And live that experience without fear what will be the result. If you achieve the goal or it was a fail. Whatever it is the result, you get the benefit of both. You get the tools, the treasure, the confidence of both situations. So maybe that pain you will not see as really black, as really blue, and you start see colors, more colors inside that. Maybe you can see it in the light. Maybe you can see as a easy process in the near future when it comes now, when it arrives again to see you learn the lesson. Because remember, when we learn a lesson, we pass the first challenge. Yeah, we get the tools. Yeah, and we continue working in that. Right? It passed some time. Maybe we forgot to still use that tools, and the reality comes again with something big, but it reference what we already passed, right? So you remember and say, this situation is like this that happened before, but has a new ingredient, a new piece in that puzzle that maybe I don't know really know how to adapt. And maybe I start thinking, I solve it as this form. Maybe if I've tried, I can get the same result. Pass it through. But if I not pass it through, maybe I need to do some adapts in that. And you try it and do it. But if the first lesson was not taken in consideration, and maybe it was start small, and the second one was a size of this, and you don't get that conscious, and then comes bigger, and you don't get the conscious what to do, and you just pass it without see it, and get a big conscience. That is why you feel that something overcome to you, that something it is more higher than you, that is something that smashed you in the floor, right? That you cannot handle it. But remember, start with a first signal, a first little pain, a first little uncomfortable situation, a feel a little discomfort or something that you have doing. So now when you feel that pain, when you feel that discomfort, when you feel that something is really coming hard for you, really challenge, you start seeing it as a different, because you start taking conscience and say, I don't want to get a big problem in the future. I don't want to see it in a big zoom. I want to see it in the small, because it will be more handle it, not easy, more handle it to pass it. That's the difference. And you start see that pain in a different eyes. And you start say, I accept it, and I really thank you for all the tools, the treasures, the benefits that I get when I decide to do it, to try it, to live it, without know what will be the result. It will be a fail, or it will be a real good goal achievement, right? So that's today why they bring to you about the pain, about the discomfort, and how we can use it as our favor for live this experience called life, right? So that is the topic of today. If you have any situation that you want to see more in detail, how the realities bring to you the information that you need more clarity, I already end the training for do therapy through um, the quantic process and integrated with healthness, right? So if you want to have a session with me, we can be in contact through the social media. I appears like Miriam Catalina on Facebook and YouTube, and as Miriam Catalina 157 on Instagram. You can share me that chat and we can be in contact. Now I do the sessions through the Zoom tool. I think it is a easy form for us to be in contact. Maybe this information stay in the same vibration as you and do some match that you can take this new form to help us, right? So let me show you what the angels have for you as a message today, and we can see where there are comments, right? Well, I have two cards. Mm, we can see it. The first, it is that helpness is coming. It is in road to us, and they tell us you are in a perfect plane. Sorry, in a perfect plan for your awareness. So we are in the perfect place. It is time. It is time that you're trying to do at your beliefs and under your form, but it's time that you start to request help. You are forgetting about you. Be conscious what are you. Don't put attention on you, right? And your lesson is about to ask help. They telling you that, and they also tell you protection in all levels. We are with our protection. So they tell us that everything going to be all right. You have all the protection doing during the time of those changes that you are living now, and also they tell you that your lovers one are in their hands. So maybe it is something about two healthness, or someone that is on hospital, or someone that it is passing for something really hard, but it is one of your lovers one. Well, the angels are with them. They are handle their hands and take care for them. And also you can bring other security with your confidence. So what else can be get from us for this message, right? So practice your confidence, share to others, share that tools that you already have, and show you as you are. Don't try to erase your past. Maybe integrate with your current uh, your new one, but with the tools that helped you in the past, right? That you can bring in this reality. And also don't forget to ask help in case that you need it. Well, this is the message for today. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in another video. Bye bye.